It's March 15th, 44 BC. The city of Rome is waking to what seems like an ordinary day. But within the next hour, one of the most powerful men in history will be dead. That man is Julius Caesar, Rome's lifelong dictator. He calmly walks toward the Curia of Pompey, where the Senate has gathered for an important meeting. The Senate usually met in the Roman Forum, but construction of a new Senate house forced today's meeting to take place here instead. Unlike the busy Forum, this building sits in a much quieter location. There are very few exits, making it surprisingly easy to trap anyone inside. Outside the building, a group of armed gladiators quietly waits nearby. They pretend to be ordinary bystanders, but in reality, they're part of a carefully planned trap. Inside the Senate chamber, the senators wait anxiously. Caesar enters and takes his place in a magnificent golden ceremonial chair, positioned at the front of the room. One thing immediately stands out. Caesar's closest ally, Mark Antony, is nowhere beside him. Unknown to Caesar, Antony is only a short distance away. Another senator has deliberately stopped him outside, keeping him occupied and away from the meeting. Without his most trusted supporter nearby, Caesar unknowingly walks into the Senate completely alone. Across the room, one senator slowly rises from his seat. Step by step, he begins walking toward Caesar. Everything has been carefully arranged. Every person is in position. The trap is ready to be sprung.
Part 2. The Rise of Julius Caesar.
To understand why Julius Caesar was assassinated, we first need to understand how he became the most powerful man in Rome. Many senators believed he had gained far too much power. Over nearly 40 years, Caesar built an extraordinary career. He became Rome's highest elected official and earned a reputation as one of the greatest military commanders of his time. His armies conquered vast territories across Europe, winning battle after battle and bringing enormous wealth and influence back to Rome. His victories made him incredibly wealthy, but it wasn't just his success in war that made him popular. Caesar also won the support of ordinary Romans by presenting himself as a leader who cared about the people. As Caesar's popularity continued to grow, many senators became convinced that he was becoming more powerful than the Republic itself. They feared he would eventually rule Rome alone. In 49 BC, the Senate ordered Caesar to give up command of his army and return to Rome as an ordinary citizen. But Caesar believed his enemies planned to destroy him the moment he obeyed. Instead of surrendering his command, Caesar made a decision that would change Roman history forever. Part 3. Caesar crosses the Rubicon. With his army behind him, Caesar marched across the Rubicon River. By doing so, he knowingly broke Roman law and declared war against the Republic. There would be no turning back. That single decision ignited a civil war that lasted 4 long years, dividing Rome as powerful armies fought for control of the Republic. When the fighting finally ended, Caesar emerged victorious. His greatest rival, Pompey the Great, had been defeated, leaving no one powerful enough to challenge him. Now the most powerful man in Rome, Caesar returned home in triumph. The Senate rewarded him with more titles and more authority than any Roman leader before him. In February of 44 BC, the Senate made a historic decision. Julius Caesar was officially named Dictator for life, giving him power unlike anything Rome had ever seen. To many Romans, this was deeply unsettling. Rome had overthrown its kings centuries earlier, and now people feared Caesar was becoming exactly what their ancestors had fought to destroy. Part 4. The conspiracy begins. Caesar's growing power frightened many of Rome's most influential men. Some feared he would destroy the Republic, while others simply believed he had become too powerful to stop through politics alone. The men plotting against Caesar came from different backgrounds. Some had once supported him, some had fought against him, and others believed killing him was the only way to protect Rome's Republic. For months, they secretly planned how they would assassinate Caesar. They considered attacking him in the streets, throwing him from a bridge, and even disguising assassins as gladiators during public games. After discussing every possibility, they agreed the Senate meeting on March 15th offered the perfect opportunity. Caesar would soon leave Rome on another military campaign, and this might be their last chance to stop him. Holding the attack inside the Senate gave them another advantage. Weapons were normally forbidden during Senate meetings, making it unlikely that anyone could fight back once the attack began. Now the conspirators had chosen the place, the time, and the plan. All they needed was the right moment to strike. Part 5. The trap is set. On the morning of March 15th, the conspirators quietly carried their daggers into the Curia of Pompey. To avoid suspicion, the weapons were hidden inside wooden boxes normally used to carry writing tablets and official documents. Once inside, each conspirator quietly took a dagger from the boxes and concealed it beneath his toga. No one in the Senate suspected that an assassination was only moments away. Outside the Senate, armed gladiators quietly waited near the entrance. They belonged to Decimus Brutus, one of Caesar's most trusted friends, so their presence attracted no suspicion. When Caesar finally arrived, he was accompanied by his loyal ally, Mark Antony. But before Antony could enter the Senate, another senator deliberately stopped him outside and kept him busy with conversation. The conspirators had once considered killing Antony as well, but in the end, they decided that only Caesar had to die. They wanted the assassination to appear as the removal of a tyrant, not a massacre. Everything was now in place. The weapons were hidden. The guards were ready. Antony was distracted. All that remained was a single signal to begin the attack. Part 6. The assassination of Julius Caesar. The signal came from Senator Julius Caesar. He stepped toward Caesar and pleaded for his exiled brother to be forgiven and allowed to return to Rome. As Caesar listened, other senators slowly rose from their seats and began moving closer. Within seconds, Caesar found himself surrounded. The senators closed in from every side until Caesar suddenly grabbed Caesar's toga and violently pulled it from his shoulder. Startled by the sudden attack, Caesar tried to pull away. But before he could react, Senator Publius Casca rushed forward and struck the first blow, his dagger cutting into Caesar's shoulder. Caesar fought back instinctively, grabbing the nearest object he could find and striking at his attacker. But he was hopelessly outnumbered, and more assassins rushed toward him from every direction. The conspirators overwhelmed him. Blade after blade struck Caesar until he finally collapsed beneath the attack. Even the few loyal senators who tried to help were quickly forced back. When the attack finally ended, Caesar had suffered 23 stab wounds. His body lay beneath a towering statue of Pompey the Great, the very rival he had defeated years before. Part 7. The warnings Caesar ignored. Looking back, many believe the warning signs had been there all along. According to ancient Roman historians, Caesar had been warned several times that his life was in danger, but he never truly believed the threat was real. During one religious ceremony, the fortune teller examined a sacrificial animal and discovered strange signs she believed foretold disaster. She warned Caesar that great danger was approaching. The fortune teller gave a specific warning. She told Caesar to beware the Ides of March, the 15th day of the month. According to her, that would be the day his life would be in greatest danger. The night before the Senate meeting, Caesar and his wife Calpurnia went to sleep as usual. But during the night, Calpurnia experienced a terrifying dream that left her convinced something terrible was about to happen. The next morning, Calpurnia begged Caesar not to attend the Senate meeting. She told him she had dreamed that he had been killed and feared the dream was a warning from the gods. For a moment, Caesar actually considered staying home. After hearing so many warnings, even he began to wonder if something was wrong. But then his trusted friend, Decimus Brutus, arrived. He convinced Caesar that staying home would make him appear weak and cowardly before the Senate. Caesar finally decided to go. As he walked toward the Curia of Pompey, a man rushed over and handed him a scroll, urging him to read it immediately. The scroll reportedly contained details of the assassination plot, but before Caesar could open it, he continued walking and unknowingly stepped into the trap that would end his life. Part 8. The Aftermath. Caesar's assassination did not save the Roman Republic, as the conspirators had hoped. Instead, it created a massive power struggle that plunged Rome into another devastating civil war. Caesar's adopted son, Octavian, joined forces with Mark Antony and the experienced general Marcus Lepidus. Together, they vowed to hunt down every man involved in the assassination. One by one, the conspirators were defeated. Caesar's assassins failed to restore the Republic, and instead, their actions only strengthened the men who came after him. In time, Octavian became Rome's first emperor, bringing an end to the Roman Republic and beginning the age of the Roman Empire. Ironically, the assassination meant to stop one ruler ultimately created something even greater. Perhaps Caesar's greatest mistake wasn't becoming powerful, it was believing that mercy alone could protect him. He forgave many of his enemies, trusted those closest to him, and never imagined that betrayal would come from inside the Senate itself. His death changed history forever, and more than 2,000 years later, the story of Julius Caesar remains one of history's greatest political betrayals.